I'm going to share with you a new capability with HLS. It's called segments. It should really be popular with those of you running pixels. Segments allow you to assign a single channel that is on the sequence edit page, but allows you to assign multiple channels to that segment channel. Then as you add effects, move them, modify them, delete them to that segment channel, all of the effects associated with it are also changed. I'm going to illustrate this by kind of quickly doing a sequence for an arch made out of pixels. And we're going to show you two ways. It's going to be just a continuous stream of 30 pixels, and we're going to make 3 segments of 10. And I'll give you an idea how that's done. First, we need to pick up a WAV file. Use Music Box Dancer here. Now, this is something I see a lot of people when you're adding a brand new sequence. People that I've worked with, they tend to be dropping all the sequences in the HLS folder. And you're going to find a lot of save files, and it gets cluttered and nasty really quick. What I always recommend is under HLS should be a series of folders, a folder for each and every sequence. And the way you do that is where here it's asking us to enter a name for our new HLS sequence. First thing I'm going to do is just hit New Folder. And we're just going to do this called Show Seg, because we're showing segments. Now I've created a folder. I'll go in, and now I'll give it my name. We'll give it the same name, Show Seg. Now all of my stuff is under a folder, and it is not mixing up everything in the HLS. As I said, we're going to add 10 channels. Oh, excuse me. We're going to add 30 channels is what I wanted, so we need to add 20 more. And we got them all. Okay. We're going to make them all pixels. So we're going to make them all RGB. So what we got is 30 channels, all RGB. And we're going to hit save that. Now let's go ahead and let's assign all 30 channels to a single display group called All. This way we can work on all of the pixel channels individually. Let's go ahead and display them now. And as you can see, we've got the complete 30 channels here for us to work on. Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to take the first 10 and we're going to turn it into a segment here in a minute. But I want to show you something associated when you're doing segments. We're going to create just a couple of effects on multiple channels here. Now, when you create a segment, as long as every effect is vertically aligned on that segment, then the segment will allow you to manipulate all of those effects as if they're one. When you have effects in a segment, we're going to put all of this in a segment. If you notice, these are not on every channel and they're not in alignment. It's what I call out of sync. I will identify that under the segment as a gray effect, and I will not let you, while in segment mode, I won't let you manipulate those at all. So let's go ahead and create 3 segments. We come down here to a brand new menu selection, manage segment channels. We're going to do brand new. We're going to take 1 through 10. We'll call it seg 1. Now we're going to add another new one. We'll do 11 through 20. We'll call it seg 2. Now we'll do another segment. and we'll call it seg3. So what we have here is we have 30 channels. Now let me show you segments. So now we got to go out. We only have one display group called all, so we're going to create another display group. Now if you slide down, you're going to find miraculously there were 3 brand new channels added. They're called segment channels. These are the names. By default, they're an off-color green. Okay, we're going to want to work with just the 3 segment channels, and we'll give this a group name called seg. So if we were to look here, we're going to bring up the segment now. If you notice, we've got 2 display groups that we can pick. All 30 channels are viewable in the all display group or the seg display group. They're displayed in a different fashion. We're in the all right now. Let's go ahead and do the seg. Now if you notice, as I said before, these collapse down, but now these are gray. You cannot move them, you can't delete them, you can't do anything with them while they're in a segment because they are out of sync. Here's a little show. As a hint before, I told you could do Control B as a toggle. So if we do Control B, it will drop down and you can see the segment. So from here all the way down to here is your segment 1. Here's segment 2 and here's segment 3. Let's go back and toggle them. Now we're back at the top. Let's go ahead and let's make this channel. Let's make this a red channel. Let's make this guy a nice green channel. And we'll make this guy just a nice blue channel. So what I'm doing is I'm changing the RGB colors associated with the channel. Now if I come through here and I just do a group, if I do a level, I now have as if you were just doing single channel. I've got 3 effects, 1 red, 1 green, 1 blue. Matter of fact, I can do a chase. Remember, this red is 10 pixels that are all being treated as 1. I can move this if I want. I can change the size of it if I want. I can do, if you don't know, if you hold the control key down and click in the first cell, the selection box will allow you to select the first cell. Bring it over, select the whole defined set of effects. If you right click and do a move resize group, this is a really nice way to do a chase. Grab the back, and if you notice, now we're doing a chase. Hit escape to remove the display block. So what we have is a chase containing 10 channels of red, green, and blue. We can do a toggle, and now we're outlining exactly what's in those channels. Now, while we're in this mode, while you're in segment mode, you cannot move the individuals. You can move the top one, which is the segment, but you cannot move the subchannels because they're tied and you only have the segment for manipulation. Let's toggle them back. Now, let's go back to pick a different display. Now we want to use all, so we want to look at the channels individually. Kind of looks like when we toggled them, except now we're in a mode, our display mode is treating each of these channels individually, which means I can come here and I can relocate this guy. And I can relocate this guy like this. So I can manipulate these as individuals. Now let's go back and look at it if we were looking at a segment mode. Now recall, these are not all in sync. So you're going to see what happens. If you notice, it grayed out. It grayed out showing the total width from here to here because it contains non-sync. Not a big deal. because we can go back to, let's go back to all mode. I can very easily put it right back together. Now they're all in sync. Now if I go back to my seg mode, if you notice, they're all back in sync. So those of you working with pixels and you would like to treat a group of pixels at any particular time as a very large one, segments is the way to do it. Now, here's the other thing. Once they're assigned to a segment, you cannot assign them to another segment. So this segment has all 10. If you want to delete that segment, very simply, come up to the top, do a segment channel, and if we highlight number 3 and do a delete, oh, my break code. How about that? You saw debugging here. It's gone. So I just deleted segment 3. Now I've got to come up here and redo my group. I'm going to complain because if you notice, the segment 2 group is gone. What was this? This was segment. So the only thing we want on segment is we want seg 1 and we want seg 3. Ah, doggone it. Hitting breakpoints there. Sorry for that. Now if we display and if we go seg, now we're back. If we come up and we do all, we still show them all. And now if we select which one to work with and we do all, now they're all here. Those other segments, number 2 is gone. All. I'm trying to go so fast. That's it. Modify the list. There they are. They disappeared on me. Now they're back. I just had to do it. Now if I come up and say display all, now we got them all. There's my green. So I hope you enjoy segments. Further down the line, when HLS will start allowing you to do mouth movements, segments will be very useful because you'll be able to assign multiple pixels or multiple lights to certain mouth movements, and you'll be able to do a much easier job at Halloweening, plus all of your Christmas lights. I hope you enjoy this new capability with HLS called segments. Have a nice day.